Welcome back to Stuff About Money They Didn't Teach You in School. I'm Xavier Angel, certified financial planner. Today, as I was driving into work, which is typically about a 35-minute ride, depending on the weather, traffic, and all that other good stuff, I started thinking about what is one thing that I wish I would have known 20, 25 years ago. And what popped into my mind is how expensive procrastination really is, right? I used to think that delaying a financial decision, whether it was saving money, investing, or even creating a strategy and becoming organized, was harmless. But what I've learned is that procrastination, it's not neutral. It's a bill that silently compounds. And what I mean by that is when I procrastinate or put something off, right, it tends to get harder and harder to complete. And by doing that, it weighs me down because I know I've got to get it done. Well, every year that I waited to invest, to budget with purpose, or even to echo a financial goal, I wasn't just losing time, I was losing an opportunity. If I understood back then that time is the most valuable asset that we have when building wealth, I would have began sooner and I would have begun more consistently rather than starting here and stopping. Procrastination doesn't just slow you down, all right? It widens the gap between where we are today and where we want to be. It slows down reaching that goal, whatever it may be. And the truth is, the cost of waiting, right? It's always greater than the fear or the uncertainty that causes the delay in creating or following that goal to begin with. So planning now versus later. The cost of procrastination is what I want to talk about today. These last few weeks have been challenging for me personally. Um, Gio's story was just the beginning. Shortly after Gio and I recorded the episode, I got news that a close friend of mine that I've known for about 17 years, he had to take a step back from running and managing his business because his cancer had progressed a lot faster than what they originally thought it was. And just like that, for him and his family, everything changed. Now he, his wife, and his business partner were having to take a step back and figure out, you know, where was the business going to go? How was the family going to survive? Right? They needed to know how was she going to be able to take care of the family and continue to live this lifestyle that he had been providing for him since he was the breadwinner in the family. They need to figure out how to make these decisions that none of them ever thought that they would have had to make this soon. And here's where things really got tough because his business partner did want to relieve or didn't want to give up control and doesn't want to buy out his shares of the business at that particular time. So the husband and wife were left worried about, how do they receive what their portion of the business is really worth? These decisions become emotional, they become complicated, and unfortunately, it's only going to get messy. This is only the beginning. And the hardest part is it probably won't end well. Not because these are bad people, not because they don't care about each other, but because the planning that needed to happen years ago, it didn't happen. Procrastination had its cost. So this is what procrastination really looks like. In real life, it has stories. It has consequences. Right? We never expect the emergency phone calls. We never expect the health diagnosis that we sometimes get. We never expect the moments when we realize that all the some days that we said or the I'll get to it later, that planning should have been yesterday's priority. And the truth is, planning isn't when life is perfect. Planning isn't when life happens. Planning now, it matters. So what I want to encourage you to do, and I strongly encourage this, is take the opportunity to begin planning now. Look at what's most important to you while you still can make clear decisions for yourself, for your family, and for your business. What does that mean? That means really sitting down and starting that conversation and figuring out, what do I want to achieve? All right. What does the future hold for me? If X, Y, Z were to happen, where do we go? It means creating a will. It means establishing an estate plan. And a lot of people think that an estate plan is only for the wealthy, but it's not. We also want to start thinking about building a business continuation plan that protects you, that protects your family, it protects your partners, and it also protects the people that you employ. These aren't just financial documents that you're putting together, right? These are acts of love. These are gifts of clarity during moments that would often otherwise be filled with confusion and conflict. And these ensure that your intentions, not others' emotions, will guide what happens next. So whether you're a young family just starting to build, you're a business owner with employees dependent on you, or someone simply trying to ease the burden on the people who come behind you, the best time to start planning is now, not later, not someday, not when life forces the issue. Because planning now gives you control. Planning later often means someone else will have to make those hard decisions for you. And those decisions may not always be what you want to happen. So take that first step today, no matter how small. Start planning today. Start the conversation. Get the documents in place. Build the plan that protects the people and the legacy you want to fulfill. Your future self and your family will thank you later.